A place where Vladimir Putin might attack Britain with nuclear weapons, but it's not the kind of place you think. Since the invasion of Ukraine, relations between the UK and Vladimir Putin are at an all-time high, and Russian propaganda has stoked fears of a nuclear attack, but the most likely targets in the UK are in the UK. Hello viewers. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell so you don't miss any news about the British royal family. Vladimir Putin's nuclear targets don't exist, defense experts say, as most people think as fears of war with Russia grow. Russia's leadership and its propaganda machine have continued to stoke the threat of nuclear conflict with the West since the invasion of Ukraine began more than 2 years ago, and the possibility has now reached its peak since the 2016 Cuban Missile Crisis. It is widely considered to be the largest. 1962, President Putin used his annual State of the Union address to warn that Russia's nuclear capabilities were in a state of full readiness. He said, "Strategic nuclear forces are in a state of full readiness for reliable deployment. All that has been done is done, or this work is nearing completion." Winning the presidential election in opinion polls is fraudulent, given the blocking of anti-Putin candidates and the recent sudden death in the state of key opposition leader Alexei Navalny after being widely criticized for his actions. He became even more anti-Western. In recent weeks, the Russian Ministry of Defense announced the successful launch of a Yaz intercontinental ballistic missile, according to state news agency. The weapon has already been tested several times by Putin's military and is designed to carry a nuclear warhead. But in the dire scenario of Britain being attacked with nuclear weapons from Russia, where would the likely target be? Professor John Strawson of the University of East London told The Mirror that many people think London would be the target. "I think it's probably the safest place. The attack will probably be by missiles, and the threat will be nuclear weapons. Based on past NATO experience, in a nuclear war the Soviet Union would first use low-value targets to demoralize its enemy, and the negotiating capital would need to remain intact. The theory was, I met with the leaders," said the law, police, and justice professor. Therefore, Britain would target St. Petersburg rather than the capital Moscow in order to keep the capital functioning. And, oddly enough, central London is probably the safest place in the UK. And if London were not the target, large populations would likely be concentrated in the north of England and Scotland, including Manchester, Liverpool, Glasgow, and Edinburgh. National Archives documents revealed that 50 years ago, Edward Heath's government planned 106 sites considered to be potential nuclear targets, including London. Military bases and radar stations, including in Lincolnshire and Norfolk, could be the site of a nuclear attack. While in Scotland, British nuclear submarines are based at the Royal Naval Base at Foss Lane near the Firth of Clyde, which would be an obvious target. The modern Russian warheads currently in use can strike virtually anywhere in the UK. The Federation of American Scientists estimates that Russia has 15 nuclear bases that could launch weapons toward Britain. Professor Strawson said Britain often displayed an anti-British attitude when Putin attacked Western countries. He explained Putin has an anti-British attitude, which you can see from this article.